Good morning, BookTube, Authortube, etc. And yes, my inner Marge Simpson is coming out today with this hair. It's all up. It'll probably change later. I'm not sure. I was going to film about 4 different videos today, but I'm probably only going to end up filming one. Maybe I've changed my mind about what I was going to talk about, but I might do it anyway. So now, where's my camera? There it is. Okay, so I'm doing it on the pad, and I'll look at the screen. I should be looking at the camera over there. So first things first. Thanks to everybody who helped out with the sharing the details about the giveaway that I did, the cheap horror book over Halloween. Thanks if you helped with the sharing on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else, and Instagram. Now here's the interesting thing. I did a quick video on Instagram TV and like a story, on Instagram, where I thanked everybody. And during that, I mentioned that you can only do so many giveaways in a year. You get like a certain time frame and you're allowed to do giveaways in that time. So then I said I'll probably do a giveaway at Christmas, and it'll probably be one of the mid-grade, like kids books, and I'll make it free. And then I had this kind of, I sat there and I kind of like stared off into the distance like this, because I'd had an idea, which I'd had an idea for ages, which I'll explain to you in a moment, about free books. So like some of my books are for like the early teens reader, okay? And I've always thought to myself, wouldn't it be great, or like the idea I had in my head ages ago, right? So just bear with me, because I'm trying to remember as well, which is never easy. Some people can't, no matter how much you put a book down in price, they still aren't able to get hold of it, okay? If you think about the bigger picture with literature and everything like that, I mean, we grab our Kindle, or we go to the bookshop, or we do this or we do that. Excuse me. Don't worry, I have tea. Yeah, but it's still not kind of accessible for everybody. And there was this little idea. I say it wasn't really even a fully formed idea, but it was just kind of a thought. But maybe one day I would earn enough money from the books. I'm not in a position to do that yet, but hear me out. I would be in a position where I could use profit to offset ordering in loads of books, like paperbacks. I'm talking kind of paperbacks here. And if you think about that, so you could literally say to, go onto a website or wherever, and one of my books would be completely free, and I'd foot the cost for it. I'd pay for it all, yeah? I'd foot the cost. So that there'd always be a free book there, which I've used the profit to offset the cost for, yeah? Like I say, I'm not in that position yet to do that. And I know it's not a very good business model. I mean, all the business people who studied business studies or anything like that at college or school or wherever, they're all face palming right now, because that is the worst business model you'll probably ever come across. But like I say, while I was doing this Instagram thing the other day, the idea kind of sparked back up, because I mentioned about doing a free Kindle deal, but that would only run for a week. So I thought, alright, what about then instead? What I'll do, because I have got some books lying around. If you watch the previous videos, you'll know that there's a lot of books that are like they were unpublished when I changed the Kindle accounts and started going through the big rebrand. So a lot of the books were taken off publication, but they are still out there. Like they're still there. I've got them on a hard drive somewhere and etc. And there's lots of new stuff as well. So I think what I'm going to do, and I am working on this is going to happen. I'm not sure if it will happen. It might be a 2019 thing. I'll make it a big, ta-da, whatever. But I have sorted out like a blog site, which I'm actually going to use as my website, because I could never get pleased with the website. I'd go to so many of these different website places, and I'd look at the deals they offered and how much it actually cost, and you can buy this pack. You can have the free package, so you can have like a basic website or whatever. Then you can have this package, and you can have a bit more, and this, and then you have this package, and you pay so much monthly, and etc. And it wasn't. I think it's come to the point now where maybe I'm just old and picky, but I kind of like to be able to pick every single little thing that I want. I don't want to be, I might want 2 things from there and 3 things from there and 1 thing from over there, and then I want to bring them in, and then I want to see how much that costs, and then I'll pay for that. But I don't want that. I don't want that, and I don't want this bit down here. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I want to kind of do it my way. So, like I say, I've sorted out this blog site, and I'm going to use it as like the landing platform, and I've linked in my Instagram feed. I haven't advertised anything about it yet, so but I will do. I'll start shouting about it soon enough. But I think what I'll do is I will get a few books on there. They'll be in PDF. Like there'll be PDF or EPUB, or I'll sort some sort of format out, whatever I decide I think is the best kind of format. And I'll just literally have a page that says free library, and then there might be a kids book on there, like a teen book, and there might be one of the books for adults. There might be a little short story. There might be this, that, and the other. But again, previous videos, when I've mentioned about when you have ideas but you don't take them very far, sometimes I will write quite a few thousand words before I decide that isn't going very far. So either they stay in a kind of a little folder somewhere, and I might try and integrate them into another story. Because Holly Silverstone, my book Holly Silverstone, that was actually an amalgamation of about 3 different stories. Like I had 3 different things, and I was juggling, and nothing was working, and I didn't seem to be moving forward. So I kind of went right back to the beginning, and I was like, no, actually, and I kind of moved all these things together, and it became Holly Silverstone. And so there are files sitting around, there are books or stories and that are sitting around, and why not? Like, chuck them out for free. It's like kind of open source software. Do you know what I mean? If you don't, I'm sure everybody's heard of open source software. Open source software. They've also heard of people who invent tongue twisters without realising it. Okay. But yeah, so why not have a free library? I don't care. Like I say, I work so hard sometimes to get sales, and I don't get any at all. I am terrible at it. I am the worst at marketing and everything else. And sometimes the kind of the kick in the teeth you get when something doesn't work, it really gets you. And like, I get so annoyed, I get so down about things sometimes, and I'm going to quit and all this rest of it and stuff like that. And one day it will happen, and one day I'll just think, oh, that's enough, and I'll just delete everything and I'll just walk away. But why not have the free library, like I say? And then you've got people who can't find, you know, they've got a smartphone or they've got access to the internet. They might go to a youth club one night, or they might go to, there might be like a church group where they can go on the internet, or they're allowed a certain amount of time on the internet during the day, after school, etc., like that. And then, but there'll be a free book, there'll be a free library. So I'm going to go for that. I am going to do it. I'm going to work on that because I think it's a really good idea. Because it just means that, I've got 4 kids and etc. And oh my goodness, do we have to sometimes watch, the bills? I mean, seriously, we have to watch the bills like on a constant day-to-day basis, finances, etc. And I know I'm not the only one, I'm not the only one, I came from, I don't know what it's called, but when I was growing up, there was no money. There was no money when I was growing up, so libraries, free books then, isn't it? You go and take them out, you read them, you take them back type of thing. Well, this will be kind of like an online free library type of thing. I mean, it's going to be quite limited to start with, obviously. I'll have to see what I've got and what I can put up there. But I'll have absolutely no problem whatsoever. For example, I mentioned the Amelia books a minute ago because that was kind of why I was talking about free books in the first place. But I would have absolutely no problem at all, no reservations whatsoever with sticking like a book in the Holly series on there for free. Put number 1 on there maybe, or one of the later ones. Why not? Like I say, it's a terrible business model. Don't get me wrong, it's a terrible business model. But when it's a PDF file and it's free read, it's free books for kids, free books for grown-ups. Depends what book I put up there, obviously. The little short stories. One of my kids, he's been hassling me for ages, like literally ages. Oh, you got to write something you got to write something I can read, like a series and all this. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that tomorrow, when I've got a spare 5 minutes. Like, joking, obviously. And then you're like, did you write that book today? I'm like, oh yeah, I got around to that. Of course I did. But why not? Like I say, those were going to be short kind of books. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Beast Quest stuff. Anyone familiar with the Beast Quest books? Loads of Beast Quest books, like hundreds of them. Genius, honestly. I'd love to do something like that. I really would. I'd love to do something like that. Just having, like, you can imagine it on a bookshelf, just hundreds of books in a series. But 10,000 words or 12,000 words, which is kind of the average for these kind of books, that's not difficult. That can be done in a couple of weeks, easily in a month if that's what you're just centering on, just that. So you could be knocking out an entire series and just sticking it up for free, just completely free. Who cares about the money? It's a free library. I don't know. I might stick a few feelers acts. I've got maybe an idea that a few friends might stick a few things on there too. I know a few, I've been in this game a while now. I know a few authors who might say, oh yeah, I'll stick a short story on there, 10,000 words, whatever. Why not? Or they'll do it on their own website. If I could think of a hashtag right now, I probably would. But I'll see how it goes. But like I say, I'll probably bells and whistles. But it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. There's gonna be a free thing there. Imagine, like, I live right near a train station, and we're a commuter line to London. So, people fly down the roads here in the morning to get the train, and they go to London, and it's like hour and a half journey. So, years ago, I did think about kind of, I thought about ways to market to those people, like advertise to them, maybe like get a discount to them so that they had something to read on the train, etc. That kind of thing. But again, there's a book on there, or short stories, or this, that, and the other, and it's free. They can just get on the train. Trains and that have Wi-Fi around here, around here. So they can get on the train, go to the website, download the book, read it on the train journey, completely free. Completely free. If you think about the possibilities of it, there could be kids in different countries, who don't have access to these kind of things, Kindles and anything like that. But they might get an hour in a school, maybe, internet access. They can get the books on the computer. They're sitting there waiting. I love this idea. I really love this idea, and I've always wanted to do so much kind of charity work and kind of that kind of thing, that kind of work. I've always wanted to go that direction, but obviously I'd need the finances to do a lot of it. But I've always kind of wanted to go down that route with things. Anywhere, you can help, or if there's an opportunity to kind of help with something, if you've got a skill or you can help in it in a certain way, go for it, do it. I've always wanted to do these kind of things. When I put in book orders, I ship, if there's any spares, anything, any books lying around, I ship them off to the children's department of the hospital, the local hospital, because, like I say, I'm a dad. We've had experience before when my kids have needed to, they've fallen out the tree or whatever and popped down A&E, and, or they had to go to the kids department for whatever, X-ray follow-ups or whatever. These kind of things. You know what I'm saying, if you know what I'm saying. But, the kids, they've got, I've seen it, I've been in there, they've said they've got like a bookshelf and a toy room and this, that and the other, and a lot of it is donation based. They have to rely on donations. So if you can, donate. So I've done it, I've done it in the past, I'll keep doing it. But if this can be done on a wider scale, then why not? Yeah. So watch this space, because it is going to happen. And I'm very happy that I remembered the idea as such. That's better. That was poking out. That's going to bug me now. Up there it tells me I've got about 17 minutes on the video, which means, for that long it's going to bug me. Right, what else am I going to talk about? Because I say there's going to be a few videos today. I think I'm going to break the videos down. So the next, I'll quickly talk about Nano Wrimo, which I'm not doing, but I'll talk about it. And then I want to jump onto diverse writing, diverse books, etc. And that stuff that's been talked about recently. Well, it's not talked about recently, it's been talked about forever. But I just want to give you a quick kind of what I do as such. Right, Nano Wrimo. Good luck if you're doing it. I did it years ago, a long time ago. Like, I think, nearly like when it started, or a couple of years I had a go at it. I think I did one time get quite close to the 50,000. But I don't do it now because I'm in my rhythm. I know how I work, and I know how I work very well. And if I want to churn out thousands of words in a day, I'll tell myself I'm going to. I'll motivate myself to do that. Doesn't, I don't just, I don't gear myself up for it for November. It's not very practical as well when, like I say, I'm a dad and there's other things to do. It's kind of fitting that in and committing to that is kind of difficult when, the phone could ring at any minute and, or I've forgotten the school play and etc. So, like I say, but if you're doing it, good luck. And I will kind of, I mean, it's still motivating to watch. See my friends saying, yeah, I did 2,000 today, I did 4,000 today, I did 6,000. Yesterday I didn't do anything, but I made up for it, you know. Seeing that's great. It is very motivational to anyone involved in it. You know, you see that kind of commitment and you're like, oh, I can do this, I can, you know, you copy your friends, etc. It is very motivational. But even if you're not doing it, you can still kind of, like I say, you can kind of use it as a kind of pace setter. So if you're working on a book and you're saying to yourself, I'm not doing nano, but I really want to kind of knock out that amount of words today, you know, try and keep the pace with these people. Use them, like I say, use them as a pace setter. Say, well, my friend did 2,000 today, I'll do 2,000 today. You know, you don't have to do it every day to meet the 50,000 of nano, but use it anyway. And let me bring this in as well. It's just an A4 pad. Everybody's got, you know, everybody's got A4 pads. Now I counted the lines on there. 32 lines, okay? So it's 32 lines. My handwriting would give me, on this size of paper, probably give me about 10 to 12 words per line. So even if you're not sitting there typing at the keyboard and your words fly out of your mind better when you're in this phase, you know, the scribble down, go crazy phase, which I love. It's one of the best phases. But if you're like that, like I say, 32 lines, say an average of 10, that's 320 words. Okay, in the end book, it might be completely different. You might use 10 of those because they're rubbish, but that's 320 words you've done, okay? So you say, do 10 of those, 3,200 words on average. Obviously, it's an average. You're doing like a guesstimate, as they call it. You know, it's not dead on, but you can do that. You can sit there and scribble out that, and then you can say to yourself, okay, I've done 3,000 words today, I've done 2,000 words today, I've managed to do 20 pages, I've nearly hit 7,000, today's a great day. You can still use that, that's fine. I've got the same here on a you know, like a A5, which is, a lot of people carry these around, you know, in their rucksacks or their handbags, a lot of the writers, etc. Just a little notepad to scribble on. But again, the same principle applies. Down there, I've counted it down there, 27, okay? 27. You might get less on the line. You could probably go with about, on mine anyway, would probably be anywhere between like 8 to 10 words, yeah? So you can go to the max, 270 words a page, 10 pages, 2,700, you know, scribble, 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 scribble. I've done it on this before. I've scribbled so many pages of this in like an hour, you know, because it's flying out of you at that phase with the pen and the notepad. Nothing needs to be polished or polished or edited or anything. You know, it can just be a complete mess. But you've got your base there, and you've got something to reward yourself for, because you can say to yourself, oh, I haven't typed it up yet, I don't know how much I wrote, it could be like only 100 words. I mean, we've all done that before. You sit there and you're like crazy on the keyboard, you know, like that for like an hour, and then you're like, oh, that was great, it's the best hour ever, and I've managed to knock out, you know, I've knocked out 4,000 words and whatever, and then you click on word count and it's gone up by like 600, and you're like, what? No, my computer's completely wrong, it's glitched on me, that can't be true. But we've all done that. So like I say, if you aren't doing nano, you can still set yourself, or not set yourself, you can still kind of see how much you're doing. Use nano as a kind of something to pull you along and help you get those words out. I'm going to take a quick sip of tea. Ooh. Yeah. I do get very when I talk a lot, which I tend to do on these videos. But I think that's what I wanted to talk about on this one, the free video, the free books and the nano thing. And like I say, good luck to anyone doing it. I know there's a lot of my friends who are doing it, and a lot of people on like Authortube and etc. who are doing it too. So they probably won't. I haven't got enough subscribers or presence yet on Authortube or YouTube or whatever for people to kind of see this pop up anywhere. So know that I have wished you good luck. That's all I'm going to say. And yes, I'll say I'm most active a lot on Instagram, and I have a lot of followers on there. So what I will probably do is, once I've managed to sort out most of the website that I'll be using, I'll start making a big deal out of it, and I'll get something up there, I think, just so that there's something there in the library, and then we'll work from there. We'll just keep adding, and or I'd like to try and make sure it's got maybe it'll have like something for the like I say, something for the kids, maybe the teens, and then the adults, and it can go like that 1, 2, 3 type of thing, and then we can go from there, that kind of thing. I'm not quite sure how I'll do it. Yeah, because saying that though, I don't want the kids access to the adult books, because I do put swear words in them. Some of the books could be a bit gory or whatever. Let me worry about that. Don't worry about it. Let me worry about that. Okay. Well, I'll leave this one because I've got to transfer this over now, and then I think I'll talk about the diversity thing, I think. Anyway, if this is the only upload, I'll see you soon. Alright guys, thanks for watching.